This is the Craig Bohl Football Show, presented by Gate City Bank.
And the Bison celebrating their outright Missouri Valley Conference championship and the overall top seed in the
Wow, very impressive. The North Dakota State Bison are outright Missouri Valley Conference champions. A very hard-fought win at Illinois State. A tough game. The head coach, Craig Bohl, is here to talk about it. Congratulations, Coach. And I'll tell you what strikes me about this is you win the national championship last year. Everyone has the Bison marked on their schedule. You take everybody's best shot. You're down a couple of All-American type players on defense, yet through all of that, you win. How satisfying is that?
Well, it certainly is. You know, that was a good football team that we beat, and any team in the Valley is an excellent program. And for us to go on the road late in the year, it's their senior day. They've got a nominated All-American quarterback, and for us to come up with a win and do it the way we did, really satisfying. It's hard to win the Valley and do it outright. It's really special. And
they had a bye coming into this game. There was a lot of things going against the Bison going into this game.
Yeah, we knew that. We came off an emotional win against South Dakota State. They had a bye, as you mentioned. They gave their players an opportunity. In the first half, quite frankly, I was concerned. We seemed heavy-legged. We weren't tackling as crisp. We weren't blocking and running, and sometimes that can be attributed to a long season. We were able to bounce back, ratchet it up in the second half, and get this thing done.
We're going to break down the national scene later in the show, but first, let's see how this all transpired, how the Bison wrapped up the outright conference championship. A very impressive feat. Beautiful weather day, not a lot of atmosphere, but Illinois State came out fired up.
Oh, they certainly did, and we knew that. They've got an excellent defensive line here. You can see them crushing the pocket, and Brock is sacked, and that's on the first possession. Not good.
Now, Matt Brown is the quarterback that we talked about. He's really good.
He's a very talented player. He's a senior. You can see here's the bootleg. He throws the ball right on point. He was in a rhythm. He's got not only a good arm, but he's got great vision. He runs the ball very well.
Early on in the game here, they're moving the chains with a short passing game and a few quarterback keepers mixed in.
Well, they did a couple things early in the game, and we knew they would have a couple things up their sleeves with an open week. And you can see here, he pulls the ball down, takes off the run. That's not a predetermined run, but he saw his space. It was very frustrating for a defense to be in good coverage, and then with his legs, he picks up the first down.
Key play here, 3rd and 10, they get 11.
Nice job of blocking by their part. They're disappointed. This is where I was looking at. We were missing tackles. They're dragging us for the extra yardage. They're staying on the field. We're not getting off the field.
Tight end or a fullback out for the touchdown here.
Well, down in the red zone, you're going to be geared up to stop the run. You can see them slip their guy out, and he's uncovered, and those were one of the adjustments we had to make.
Hey, John Crockett looked healthy for one of the first times.
A nice job of misdirection here. I think we even tricked our cameraman. Nice job by John running, and good blocking by our offensive line.
Well, that drive did stall, so back on offense for Illinois State. They're still in a rhythm, and this is just a pretty ball. This shows how good he is.
Well, you can see that's a check that they made at the line of scrimmage. The ball's right on the money. Christian Dudzik's got excellent coverage, and this is where I knew it was going to be a struggle.
They slip one into coverage here, a 22-yard pass.
Nice job of their throw and their catch, and you can see Christian Dudzik, the safety, over the top. He wrestled the President Bashani up against the fence.
About took him out there. They get a field goal out of this drive, so that was big to hold him to a field goal.
Really critical for our defense at that time. We weren't playing with great, discipline, and to hold him for a field goal was important.
It was looking pretty tough right now, down 10-0, but here is the momentum changer of the day.
Marcus Williams has a profound impact in FCS football, no matter who he plays. Good job of blocking up front. Here you can see him evade the kicker, pulls it down, another touchdown. Anytime you score like that, that's a huge, huge momentum changer.
Yeah, 10-7, momentum changer. The D gets a stop. The offense goes back to work here, and Ryan Smith goes for 16 yards here, and you're about to take the lead in this ball game.
Nice job by Brock coming out on the corner here. Good throw, good rhythm. Ryan does a nice job catching it right along the sidelines.
Now this play here, a great running play. It's blocked well at the point of attack.
Without question. You can see our guys, big, strong guys. Sam Algieri's been, he was untouched there, all the way down to about the 4-yard line.
Crockett bounces this next one outside, gets it inside the pylon. Suddenly you're in the lead 14-10.
Well, this is what we'd anticipated, Jeremy. Two really good football teams vying for the conference championship, being competitive. Here you can see John does a nice job getting to the pylon. We're up 14-10.
Now defensively, still making some adjustments. They started to not make up as many yards as they had early on in the ball game, but they do hit a 26-yard pass
Well, they've got good players here, and you can see we're having a difficult time tackling them. Our guys are not only tired, but you got to give credit to Illinois State. They've got really good players out there.
Now a bootleg play down here in the red zone. They score a touchdown. They're back in the lead.
Well, once again, you can see Matt Brown's mobility. Here he just reaches that ball right on the pylon. Now they're up 17-14, a back and forth battle.
Now here at the end of the first half, you suffer an injury. Andrew Oakland on this John Crockett run here gets an ankle turned.
Yeah, you know, it looks like it's a high ankle sprain. Here you can see Andrew down, and typically high ankle sprains are such, they're about like a break, and he'll be out probably 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay, here's the halftime score, 17-14. Very tight ball game. The stats, not much there early on in the ball game. Olson has 8 tackles already in the first half. This week on the Bison hot seat, the laid-back Billy Turner. What is the most painful injury you've ever had?
I've had a couple, but I mean, last year I kind of messed my thumb up. I tore part of the bone apart and had to have surgery, but I also messed my hip up when I was in middle school playing like kickball. I tore like part of my pelvis off too. That was pretty painful, but I'd say those two are probably the most painful I've had.
Sounds bad. Do you like fruit or vegetables better?
Fruit, definitely.
What's more important to you, the television or the internet?
I'd say the internet because I'm on the internet more.
How about your favorite season, spring, summer, fall, or winter?
Fall, definitely.
If you could have an endless supply of food, what would it be?
Either steak or chicken Alfredo.
Nice. How many dates would you go on before you introduce that person to your parents?
I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on the person, you know. I mean, if she was like me in any kind of way and which is crazy, 1 or 2, because I mean I don't know.
Yeah,
you know.
that's all right. What's your favorite cartoon as a kid?
Tom and Jerry.
If you owned a yacht, what would you name it?
If I owned a yacht, that's a good question. Probably the Turner Express.
So where do we send the payment? Is it Boston or Buffalo? Or is it Chicago?
Chicago? Chicago was 2 months ago. Keep looking, there must be a phone number somewhere.
At Gate City Bank, we service your home loan right here. No tracking down where your loan is. That's our promise. And one more way we make your life better at Gate City. Gate City Bank, for a better way of life.
So it went from here to here to there.
Winter fashion is a wonderland, and you'll find all this season's best looks waiting for you at Shields. So, let it snow.
My grandfather started our business in 1917, almost 95 years ago. Over the years, a lot has changed in our business, but there's a lot that hasn't changed. I think about the values and the principles that we adhere to. I think about the way we do business with our clients, the way we treat our clients, the way we treat our employees. Those things haven't changed, and they will never change for us.
Around here, there's more than one way to live. And at Gate City Bank, there's more than one way to bank. We create banking to fit you. So whatever your way of life, we make it better. Gate City Bank, for a better way of life.
All right, Coach, a half of football till a championship. What was the locker room like at halftime?
Well, you know what? Somewhat clinical. We needed to make some adjustments. We knew coming in that with a bye week we'd have some things. They had us on our heels. our pride and our conditioning were really going to come into play, and our toughness and together is going to take us home.
Let's take a look at this second half, and you'll see from the up angle that there's some construction going on. They're going to have a new stadium. It's not real pleasing to the eye right now, maybe down the road. But anyway, in the second half here, Matt Brown still rolling along here, 17-yard pass.
Really good throw and a good catch. They've got good receivers, and once again, we're somewhat off balance.
They won the toss, so they took the ball. This is the first drive of the second half. Now Brown rushes for 10.
Well, like I said earlier, he's got good mobility. We've got good coverage here, but you're starting to see some things beginning to change. Our rush lanes are going to be changing, and our coverages are going to change.
Held him to a field goal here, and this is a great kick, a 47-yarder.
Nice job, and that was actually into the wind, which was a heck of a kick.
So it's 20-14, Illinois State, but the kick return game, which was so big in the first half, was big in the second half. Ryan Smith gets a 27-yard return, gives you good field position.
You know what? You can see our guys getting hooked up front. We've got some running lanes, and Ryan does a nice job finding a crease. And once again, we're not on the 15 or 10. We're out to the 40-yard line. That field position changes, makes a big difference for our offense.
Huge play right here. 4th and 1, you call an option.
Well, you know, you feel a lot more comfortable going for it at 4th and 1 when you're at midfield as opposed on the 20-yard line. Nice job. That's the old days of the split back veer with that option football.
Shout out to Trevor Gebhardt with a great block on the edge out there, too. You get a field goal out of this, so the drive did stall, but it's 20-17 now. You're starting to get back in it.
Well, anytime you can score some points, it's really important. We're down by 3 here.
From this point forward, this is where the defense really started to dominate.
Well, you can see we made some things, some coverage adjustments. He's having to hold the football. Here, Cole Jurek almost comes up with a fumble, but you can see we're getting better pressure on that quarterback.
Really good offensive drive now after you force the 3 and out there. A little swing play to Andrew Bonnet out of the backfield.
Really, this comes off a running play. It was one of our primary run plays. Andrew's got good ability here. He's a 245-pound guy moving down the field.
I thought this also a very impactful play right here. Brock Jensen sends a message that the Bison are going to win this game.
Really good job of blocking. There, Brock, you can tell he just disowned that free safety, and big game for us.
Now John Crockett for 5, and you're in the red zone now and really in position to score here.
Well, you can see our backs, quarterback, and line. This is physical Bison football.
Now, there was a pass interference call right prior to this. Sets you up perfect for the quarterback sneak. We're in the 4th quarter now, and you have the lead.
Without question, a great surge by our offensive line, and Brock coming up and getting the touchdown there. 24-20 really puts us in a good position.
Great sequence here. Marcus Williams almost has a pick. It's dropped, but this really broke their back.
A great job by Cole. We work on that. He beat the tackle and then stripped the quarterback on the blind side and came up with a fumble. Boy, our football team was really excited right now.
So now you get the takeaway. You go for the home run ball here.
Well, Vieg's dialed up a good one, and good job of blocking. Brock put the ball right on the money. Great catch by Ryan all the way down to the 7-yard line.
39 yards there. Now Brock Jensen's going to take it in himself right up the gut.
Really a great call once again, and good job by Vieg's here dialing up what we thought was going to be a mismatch, and Brock did a great job.
Yeah, 31-20. The Bison have control right now. The defense forces a 3 and out. Now you go to the ground game, start churning out yards, running that clock.
Really good job by our offensive line, and nice job of running by John. John's starting to become a little bit more healthy, and it's showing there.
These next 2 plays really show how dominant the Bison were. 27 yards here for Crockett. Then you go to O'Jury for 21, big chunks.
Well, that typically was what happens. You know, a running play in the first half is 4 or 5, turns into 20 in the second half. People get worn down.
Both backs went for 100 yards.
Yeah,
That's
you
a
can
big
see
deal.
once again a great job of blocking up front, and Sam and John are both running really hard right now.
Here's the dagger. O'Jury for a touchdown, 38-20. The game's out of reach now.
Well, now we're up by 18. That's 3 possessions with that amount of time. Our guys go out. What a great win. Want to credit Chris Kleiman, the defensive staff, Brent Vegan, the offensive staff, and coming up with a big win.
Now listen to the defensive stats in the second half. Illinois State only had 78 total yards, 39 yards rushing. The defense took over the game.
Well, like I said, our guys did a great job of adjusting in the second half, and we played with a great sense of purpose.
Crockett had 17 carries, 109 yards. Grant Olson, another stellar day, 12 tackles. Let's hear what the players had to say after this ball game.
Pretty amazing. When you see 2 guys go over 100 yards, and you're a product of that, and let's give credit to Josh Colville and Billy Turner and Joe Haig and Tyler Gimstead. At the end there, we didn't pass 1 time, so kind of run the ball and just run out time. So.
I wanted to win it extremely bad. You know, all the time and effort that we put in, this entire team, and the off season, as hard as we work, you know, it came down to just an opportunity that we could control our own destiny, and we had to win the game, and you know, I wanted to do whatever it took to win, and you know, our entire team played well, and we stuck together and got it done.
They had 2 weeks to prepare for us, so they seen some things that we done, so they made some adjustments. So, I mean, what we did in the second half, we made some adjustments, and like the D-line, they got a big pass rush, and we just made sure we stood in coverage and not give up the low passes, and we'll be fine.
Cole,
Great comments by the players. Time for our Nodak Mutual Insurance Player of the Game. The running game was phenomenal, but the reemergence of John Crockett was a big difference for the NDSU offense. John Crockett is our Nodak Mutual Insurance Player of the Game. 17 carries for 109 yards for John. He also scored a touchdown. Couple that with 118 yards from Samuel Jury in the running game. Broke the will of the Redbirds. John is an emotional guy who let it be known after the game this team has big goals this season.
It feels good right now, you know, to have a conference championship, but we have our main objective is to be a national championship by the end of this year, and that's something that we're going to pursue real hard. This is another notch in our belt. We're ready. We're ready.
He's a funny guy, and you can tell, you know, after the game there was some celebration. The guys were happy, but there's a bigger prize out there too now.
Well, we're going into another phase, and our #1 goal was to win the Missouri Valley checked. We got that accomplished. Now bigger fish are out there, and we need to get ready to go for them.
Now you mentioned Andrew Oakland. He could be out a while, huh?
Yeah, I think so, unless you know, we get some different results on his you know, his observation, but that type of injury is going to probably keep him out for a significant amount of time.
Now, no Levon Perry in this game. Of course, you haven't had Colton Hegel for quite some time on this defense, but let's talk about the second half with this defensive line. With no Levon Perry, it might have taken him a half to get in some rhythm and stuff, but in the second half, the tackles that were in there started to make some noise.
Well, really a great effort by those guys up front. It was a kind of a tackles by committee, a lot of different people rolling in and out. The guys playing hard, and we got those adjustments down, and all of a sudden, instead of the 15-yard gains, you know, there were 2 or 3, and that's when we were able to start getting some good pass rush.
What'd you think of Schatz, Lukey, and Juckham, that rotation?
Well, yeoman's duty, and like I said, by committee, I thought our guys played really hard, and here we're looking to actually spy. You can see the quarterback trying to find a lane, couldn't do it, and that was some of the adjustments we made. Cole Jury comes up with a big strip on the backside.
Coach, I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about your 2 coordinators. It's really striking to me, especially, you know, just standing there on the sidelines, the adjustments that these guys make. I mean, the first few drives, the Redbirds did some things offensively, but over the course of this season, every game, Chris Kleiman has done a great job making some adjustments. Second half, teams have done nothing against you in the second half.
Well, that's coaching, and those guys are really skilled at what they do. They're great teachers. Our players buy into the message that's being sent, and the adjustments that Chris and the defensive staff did were great. And I thought offensively, Brent Vegan, the offensive staff, mixing up the run and the pass and finding the rush lanes, and Tim Polasek with the special teams, big portion. We've got a really capable staff, and our players really buy into them.
Well, let's talk about the offense a little bit, the running game. How different is it to have Crockett healthy and him and O'Jury, that 2-headed monster?
Well, it's critical, you know, for us to be effective. We're a run-first football team. We strive to be balanced, but we need to be able to control the line of scrimmage. And sometimes the back just need to make a play. And here you can see they've got an unblocked player, and John just stiff arms and goes up and hits a pylon.
Oh, great stuff in that running game. And coming up, we're going to talk about our Peterson Farm Seed future crop of bison, another one of those players that's trying to make his way into that depth chart. Stay with us.
I don't ask for much, just a little me time before the real workout begins. Game on. It's enough to run anyone ragged. That's why I shop at Shields, so I can do it all again tomorrow in style.
So where do we send the payment? Is it Boston or Buffalo? Or is it Chicago?
Chicago? Chicago was 2 months ago. Keep looking, there must be a phone number somewhere.
At Gate City Bank, we service your home loan right here. No tracking down where your loan is. That's our promise. And one more way we make your life better at Gate City. Gate City Bank, for a better way of life.
So it went from here to here to there.
My grandfather started our business in 1917, almost 95 years ago. Over the years, a lot has changed in our business, but there's a lot that hasn't changed. I think about the values and the principles that we adhere to. I think about the way we do business with our clients, the way we treat our clients, the way we treat our employees. Those things haven't changed, and they will never change for us.
I started hunting with my brothers and my dad. Hunting for me is getting away from everything, just getting out into the country, to the quiet. I enjoy hunting with my son more than anything. Someday he'll have memories like I have of hunting with my dad. There's just no better feeling when a customer says, you know, that gun you sold me last year worked perfect. That is, to me, what it's all about. I'm Leon Streifel, and I'm one of the hunting experts at Shields.
Welcome back to the show. In this week's Peterson Farm Seed Future Crop of Bison, we take a look at another North Dakota product who is trying to crack the depth chart. Redshirt freshman Leighton Talmadge has worked his way onto the travel squad and is waiting for his turn for playing time. Leighton is one of 3 Bismarck players on the team. He played for Bismarck High, has a solid frame at 6'6", 242. You can tell he's proud to play for the home state Bison. He is hoping next year will be the year fans start to hear his name.
Well, hopefully I can work next year, can keep getting, more and more reps and get some more important reps and start, having Coach Coop be able to trust me and put me in there. Kind of like Mike Hardy this year, trying to follow in his footsteps. I think last year to this year, he's the most improved guy on our line.
Hey, it's neat to see those home state kids really taking it serious about being a Bison.
Well, it's really important for them. They're here to get their education. They also want to represent our school and our state, and we always appreciate the players from the Bismarck area and also the western portion of the state.
Well, the Bison are down 2 of their best defensive players heading into the postseason, so there's a little pressure on the offense to produce, and we started to see them create that confident identity this past weekend at Illinois State. Offensive coordinator Brent Vegan and Ryan Smith say they are up to the challenge. Jamal Spencer has the story.
The Bison offense has been a much maligned unit this season. While they've scored enough points to win every game but one, turnovers have plagued them lately.
Well, the bottom line is whether we win or lose, and unfortunately we've won these last couple weeks.
Despite their turnover woes, the Bison are still averaging 30 points per game and found a groove this past Saturday against Illinois State, rushing for 274 yards.
We stick together. We're a really close-knit group, and I think you can overcome a lot of obstacles just being close with each other and the bond that we have.
While NDSU dominated on the ground in Normal, Illinois, it's been their passing game that's been above normal this season, allowing the offense to become one of the more balanced attacks in Bison football history.
It means there's more than one threat on the field at a time, and so which is really gets defense unbalanced too, So it makes a defense game for a lot of players, and it's just it's good having that.
It's nice that the quarterback maybe isn't out there depending on a couple guys, that it really doesn't matter who's out there, because as a play caller, ideally you're not trying to fit pieces into certain parts, and because the defense can really pull those things out.
The Bison passing game has produced 3 receivers with 30-plus catches this season, allowing Brent Vegan more opportunities to get creative with his play calling.
I mean, Coach Vegan is we're starting to open up the playbook a little bit more. Coach Vegan's a great guy. I mean, he's a mastermind of the game, that's for sure. He knows how to scheme defenses really well, and he's a really great coach.
As the playoffs arrive, the Bison offense is clicking again. And offensive coordinator Brent Vegan says his crew is ready to put up enough points to put the team in a position to repeat as national champions. For the Craig Bohl Football Show, I'm Jamal Spencer.
Oh, it's going to be a fun playoff run, and coming up in the show, we are going to talk about that national scene a little bit and set the stage for what is to come in the coming weeks. Stay with us.
Schedule your mammogram. Encourage others. Edith Sanford Breast Health.
Around here, there's more than one way to live. And at Gate City Bank, there's more than one way to bank. We create banking to fit you. So whatever your way of life, we make it better. Gate City Bank, for a better way of life.
My grandfather started our business in 1917, almost 95 years ago. Over the years, a lot has changed in our business, but there's a lot that hasn't changed. I think about the values and the principles that we adhere to. I think about the way we do business with our clients, the way we treat our clients, the way we treat our employees. Those things haven't changed, and they will never change for us.
Welcome back to the show. Coach, the bracket is out. The top 5 seeds have been named. NDSU is the top overall seed. You get that home field. A nice, solid top 5 right there.
Well, without question, and we're certainly pleased to be selected as number 1, but you know what? That doesn't have a lot to do with the cost of butter once you start getting ready to play football. It's a new season. Playoffs are great, and you tee it up on whoever you play.
Now let's look at the bracket that NDSU is in as the top overall seed. Lots of teams in there, and some Eastern teams potentially could be coming to Fargo.
Well, that's certainly true, and we don't know a lot about Eastern Illinois. We certainly know a lot about South Dakota State. We're really pleased that 3 Valley teams were able to get in. We'll see what happens with that game. I know New Hampshire and Walford are 2 drastically different styles of offenses, and as you look down the bracket there, we know a lot about Georgia Southern, and I have seen Old Dominion on tape as well, so some really quality football teams.
How do you handle this bye week now?
Well, I think it's important we strike a balance, Jeremy. You know, it's been a long season, a hard season, and we need to be refreshed, refocused, and retooled as we get ready to play this first week. We'll have some practice time, but we need some time to get healed up as well.
Now, the ticket situation is as follows. The online ticket sales are already underway. Season ticket holders have until Tuesday, November 27th at 5 p.m. to purchase their same seats. If you don't pick those up, those go out to the general public. The Bison are in the playoffs. The bracket is set. Enjoy it, everyone, and it'll be a fun December here in Fargo. Have a good week.